Hey, it's Paul at Martech Mentor. Really glad that you're here. Listen, I've got so many tutorials to show you and things like you see on my screen right now, these advanced make.com automations. And there's so many things we could do, but the first thing I would like to do is make sure that you see this video, which is the top 3 things that I would do right now if I were you and trying to get new customers. So what I'd like to do is just show you a couple of tools. I will call this my lead strategy, if you will, and the best tools that I'm using right now to get new leads for high ticket clients. Just so you know, in addition to being the Martech mentor, I'm also a fractional CMO where I have CEO clients that I work with at $10,000 to $15,000 a month. And so these are the kind of things that I use, the tools that I use to go and get those clients. And so I'm going to highlight those for you. Let's start with LinkedIn. If I were doing anything right now and I wanted to go get some leads and I didn't know where to start, I would probably start in LinkedIn right now. If I were going after a higher ticket client, if you're a consultant or you are trying to wiggle into a certain niche or niche or however you want to say it. Whatever it is, I would use LinkedIn. And there's a couple of tools you can use. I like Walaxy, and you can see all the links in our paid membership. Down on the left, you'll see our tools and links, and I've got my entire tech stack, and you'll find this one. Walaxy is fantastic, and one of the things I love about Walaxy is I can go find leads that match my parameters, and then I set up some automations that will automatically go out and go after those leads. And so as an example, let's just go and take a look at the last 90 days. I've been targeting a particular group of people that I'm very interested in talking to. And you can see that I've sent 936 invitations on autopilot. Now, I didn't touch this. It automatically did this for me. And I visited 1,600 profiles and sent 221 messages. And again, this is not going to be something that you're going to get like 98% return on, but you don't really want that. You're looking for high ticket clients. And you can see that I've gotten some really great results of getting 15% of the people that I've connected with to accept my invitation, and I've been able to start a conversation with them. One of the things that I love about this is that we can actually set up an entire flow. And so I'll show you really quick what that flow might look like. For instance, I go out and visit that person's profile, and then I wait a day, and then I go follow them, and then I wait a day, and then I go send an invitation, and I can set what that invitation is, and I put their name in there. It's really slick. Then I can wait a day, do a message, wait a day, do a message, so forth and so on. I've got several different types of campaigns depending on which target I'm going after. And so this is a very effective thing for me for starting the conversation. Now, this is not the kind of thing that you go out and say, hey, I have $1 million product. Do you want to buy it? This is more like, let's add value to this person and see where we connect, see if I can give them something that's valuable to them. A couple of ways that I do that is I have what's called a CEO scorecard that I've created, and it's a little quiz that allows them to kind of self-identify, where they are in their journey. And really the idea is to kind of pick at a problem that they may not have known that they even had. And so I answer all these questions, and at the end of the quiz, it's going to give them a score. Here's a little secret: most people do not score a very high because I've identified some questions that I know most CEOs are not paying attention to. And so most of the people that fill this out get between a 70 and 80%. And some of them get way lower. No one ever gets below or above a 90. And so what that does is people then follow up and go, wow, I didn't realize we were so bad. Let's talk. And so I love that. If you want to know more about getting a scorecard set up like that, just go over to scoreapp.com, which is also another link that you'll see in the tools and links in our paid group at Martech Mentor. All right. So that's one thing I do is I set up some type of a value quiz or something like that that allows them to kind of learn how they're doing. Another thing I do is I use something like Video Ask, and I've included this as well in my LinkedIn outreach. And I'll just play this very quick, but I won't play the whole thing. The idea is to just connect with them with a face and then give them an opportunity to download what I call the 6 wins for CEOs, or you can call it whatever you need to. And I give them 6 wins that are easy to implement, and it starts a conversation. Let's listen. Hey, it's Paul Fleming, the Fractional CMO, helping CEOs bust through their marketing challenges and drive revenue. Let's speed that up a little bit. So I basically talk to them and I give them an opportunity to go click a button. And when they click that button, it redirects to a lead magnet that I'm going to give to them, 6 wins for a CEO. So those are 2 ways that you can use some tools like this to integrate into your LinkedIn outreach. Give something away of value. Don't be pushy, but just let them know that you're really good at what you do, and you know they have an issue that you can solve, and make it very clear, make it very short. And at the very least, you can start building a list of people that you're connecting with that may, over time, maybe 6 months from now, reconnect with you because you connected at some point. So it's a low and slow method. And every single day I'm going out and I'm automatically in my sleep connecting with 40 to 50 people a day. I don't exceed 50 because LinkedIn doesn't like for you to do that. And so we want to protect our LinkedIn account. Walaxy does a great job, by the way, of helping us protect our account. And I've got another tutorial in the group that actually shows you how to make sure that you're keeping your LinkedIn profile healthy. And that includes going into your settings and removing any invitations that you've sent that are more than 2 to 3 weeks old. And that's another tip that you'll find in one of our guides. So LinkedIn is the first place I'd start. The second tool I want to show you is how I get leads into LinkedIn. I use a tool called Apollo, and there are many other tools. I like Apollo a lot, and I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. But I search for a ton of people in Apollo, and I can search very granular. I can find out, exactly what their revenue is per year. I can drill down by geography. I can find out how long they've been in their title. What I love is finding connections with CEOs who have just taken the CEO role in the last 3 months. It's a great opportunity for me to connect with them and go, hey, I know you're new. Is there anything I can do to help with marketing? I love that conversation. There's several other things that you can do in Apollo to search for what I call triggers. One of those triggers is like funding. Maybe they just wrapped up a Series A funding, and you know they've got money to spend and they need to spend it to keep investors happy. And so if you sell a product that might relate to them, this is a great way to get in the door. And so I use Apollo to go find my leads, but here's the little trick, $1 million trick. I don't pay for most of these leads what the normal Apollo payment would be. I get thousands and thousands of leads every month, but most of them I'm able to use another tool called Export Apollo, which allows me to take a search link from Apollo, put it into Export Apollo, and I pay literally pennies on the dollar. So if I can go get 10,000 leads, then it may only cost me a few bucks, which is awesome. And so you can make sure you take advantage of those tools. I've probably got a whole nother tutorial in our group on specific how to find leads in Apollo. But I wanted to just show you, this is how I'm finding the leads that I put into my LinkedIn outreach in Walaxy. And then also I use those same leads in Instantly, which is my cold email process. And so again, big picture, if I was trying to generate leads, I'd start with LinkedIn automated outreach. I would make sure I'm using some kind of a value-added lead magnet that's going to entice them. I'd make sure I've got some good quality leads that I'm connecting with. And then I'd use a good cold email outreach tool. Now, you need to know about cold email outreach that everyone is trying it now, and it's a little saturated. So the key is going to be volume, volume, volume. I have about 30 email addresses, and each of those sends 50 to 100 emails a day. So that means that if you do the math on that, I'm sending thousands of messages a day to some very select groups of people with a very clear offer. And even if the response is 1% or half of 1% or a quarter of 1%, for a high ticket offer, I'm okay with that because I actually can't service 10 clients at one time. And so it depends on what your offer is and what you're selling on how many of those leads you need. But I love Instantly. It's one of the best cold email outreach tools. And what you do is you go get your leads over Apollo, you bring them into Instantly, and you set up a campaign that will automatically go out and send them emails every single day. Wait a few days, send another email. Wait a few days, send another email, and so forth and so on. I've got a whole separate tutorial on how to set up all your cold email. There's some technical steps to that, and I can walk you through that in another tutorial. But here I just wanted to show you that it's a great tool for you to be able to send thousands of emails. But you can see that 1,800 emails were sent, and I've got sequences set up and a bunch of steps in this sequence that automatically go. And it does some cool things like automatically unsubscribe people if they're not interested, and so forth and so on. So make sure you check out instantly.ai. My top 3 steps for you to do some cold outreach for higher ticket clients are: 1, get your LinkedIn outreach set up. 2, get your leads set up and understand how to go find quality leads and use them in powerful ways. 3, use a tool like Instantly or another cold email outreach tool, and hopefully these tools are going to help you get more clients that pay you more money and help you have more conversations that are valuable. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have questions.